Hello. Well, come on quickly, briefly, because I haven't been vlogging for a while. Why have I not been vlogging, your lordship?
Because you've been asleep for 17 days and No.
We haven't been vlogging because we've been looking after grandchildren.
Oh, grandchildren.
Because we've been busy with orders, because we both had COVID.
Yeah, we did as well.
We caught COVID, ended up being bedbound. But thankfully, we both are thankful because we both had the vaccination before Christmas, and it was bad. It was just like I've only had flu twice in my life, and on those two occasions I had to go to bed, just couldn't do a thing, and felt the same way, but didn't feel as bad because we had the vaccination. He got it. He seemed to be worse than I was. You went to bed in the afternoon as well as the whole.
Well, I do what my genetic history sort of forces me to do, which is basically when you're poorly, you go to bed and sleep, and when you wake up, it's gone.
And the other thing is, he will not take any tablets, but it was so bad he actually did. You will not normally take any paracetamol, and I kept saying take some. I've taken some, it's made me feel a little bit better, and he wouldn't, but eventually did, and he actually realised it did make him feel better. We both had awful coughs. We had I started by sneezing. Did you sneeze at the start?
I was sneezing.
We both were sneezing at first.
I sneeze all the time at this time of year.
Yeah, because we thought he had hay fever, and he was sneezing a lot, and I was sneezing a lot. And then I started coughing. I ended up with a very deep throat, as if I'd been smoking 100 cigarettes a day. Oh, that didn't help. Anyway, so I've lost my line of thought now.
She's lost her line of thought.
I've lost my line of thought. So anyway, yes, it took us about 4 or 5 days to recover, and then his daughter came up and she caught it. So she's just currently probably 2/3 of the way through. She thought she was getting better, but she hasn't had a vaccination, and she said, I thought I was getting better, but I feel worse now. So those of you who don't have vaccinations,
get one.
Too late probably. Anyway, apparently COVID is starting to be rife in the UK, and funnily enough, your brother's wife in Thailand was saying that Thomas has gone to school with a very bad throat and he's coughing, and I said, well, we just had COVID, and I noticed that all our friends are saying that there's a cough and cold, something's going around, so you never know, it might spread. All these people going on planes for holidays and things to different countries might be spreading it around.
Aircraft travel is the biggest culprit for passing bugs around, because they just recirculate the air.
Yep.
And they don't really filter it properly.
Well, I've got a little flight app, and as I say, we are at the airport. We live near the airport, so every time a plane takes off, I go to my little flight app to see which plane is flying and where is it going to. Well, is it TUI, or who's the orange and white plane? TUI or something. Have been practicing landing. They must come and practice. EasyJet. They keep practicing landing, taking off, and then we've had fighter jets, which you reckon might be the training.
Oh, there were F-16s.
Going over to the North Sea and doing manoeuvres and then coming back. So what was I talking about? I was talking about
the
onset
of dementia.
So anyway, we were looking. I was looking at the flights, and I was saying, flipping heck, if you look all over the world, There are thousands of planes going backwards and forwards, and obviously in the summer they all want to go on holiday to Spain, to Crete, to Greece, all these places, and they're all going further afield. So they're all carrying all sorts of germs and things, so it's bound to spread.
I can't remember what the figure was of the number of people in the air at any given time. It's a lot. It's in it. I think it was 10 million, but it could have been what?
10 million in the air, wow.
But I'm sure it was 10 million people in the air at any given time.
So that's a long story to tell you about how we had COVID. And currently we are in Leeds again, come down to Leeds because His Lordship has, those of you who've watched our vlogs a lot will know that his mother died in January, and prior to that February, and prior to that we rented her flat. She had a little flat or a tiny little apartment-y type thing, and he told them it was on a short-term rent because once things were sorted we were going to sell it. And so we've just been to check. The tenants have vacated yesterday, at the weekend rather. It's now Tuesday, and we wanted to go and check it to see what kind of a state it was in, and we were very impressed. Apparently there were 2 Chinese young lads. We were a bit concerned because John and Barbara, our friends, they have a son who is married to a Chinese girl in Australia, and she was saying, she says they cook a lot on woks, and she says it's a lot of wok cooking and everything. And we've just fitted a new kitchen, and we're thinking, oh golly, it's going to be covered with grease. But when we went, absolutely clean as anything. They've never used the oven. They have done a lot of hob cooking, but it's absolutely perfectly clean. Can't fault them.
Impressed,
very impressed.
Impressed. If you've got anywhere to let it out to a chap from Hong Kong.
We went from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, yeah.
Was that where they're from? Anyway, so they went. We've checked it. Everything's fine. Just need touching up on a couple of places on the wall, which you would expect anyway. But they've not been. They've been very, very, very tidy. Relieved
and respect, really.
Yeah. So so the next step for that is we'll come back down one time and just add a dab of paint here and there, just on a couple of scuff marks, and then that's it. Because we had it all painted out before they moved in. We had it all carpeted before they moved in, and there's no stains on the carpet. The carpet is absolutely clean. And as I say, the paint, there's just a couple of little scuff marks. Won't take much to touch up. Kitchen, very impressed by. So now we're off to visit His Lordship's son, who lives at the other side of Leeds, and he's asked us to pop in for a cup of coffee.
So we are.
So we are. Yeah. Well, we had the girls at the weekend, and Indy, you might know that Indy, the littlest one was born with talipes, clubfoot, and she's had a lot of operations, and at bedtime she has to wear these splints on the back of her legs to keep her legs, what do they do? Do they keep straight? They keep her legs kind of they keep the legs like that.
The feet in the
right angles.
Angle to
they keep her feet like that instead of going downwards, and so forgot to pack them in her bag when she went home, and so he said, right, I'll bring them down with me. So we forgot the eldest one's school shirt, so put the school shirt, put the splints in a bag, in a carrier bag to bring, handed it to him.
Handed it to you?
No, he didn't hand it to me. I handed it to him, and so we then decide, because we've finished everything early, we thought we'd go to the school, drop it off at the school and ask them to give them to Mum, pass them to Mummy. He goes into the back of the car, no bag. Goes in the boot, no bag. Forgotten them.
fabulous.
Well, renowned. He's renowned for...
Hey!
You...
I think you were right the first time when you said we.
Where every weekend when they do come to stay, you always forget something. You rush them out at top speed, and I say, have you checked every room? Have you? And then it's not until after they've gone, I go into one, I walk into the bathroom, toothbrushes haven't been taken. Or toothpaste hasn't been taken. A special toothpaste that cost an arm and a leg hasn't been taken. What? Yeah, is that a complaint about the car in front of you or about me?
about your fairy tales.
My fairy tales. Anyway, have I been sewing? Yes, I've been sewing a lot. I was going to do a lovely vlog showing one. I'm going to do another vlog in a minute, telling you about this dress that I made, because this lady, and I can't remember her name, asked me if I could, if I had. Long story, but I made this dress and she said, would you do a sew along? And I said, yes, I'll do a sew along. Started doing a sew along, but then when the kids came for the weekend, they kept coming in and saying, what you doing? And I couldn't do it. I couldn't get it done. So I've got half a sew along done. And I'm going to have to try and find a way of improvising to do the rest of the sew along for you, for those who are those who are interested in doing it. I also wasn't sure if I liked the top, the dress that I made when I'd finished it, and I'll tell you about that. But then the other day I tried it on top of a dress. I was just trying on top of a dress to see what it looked like, and I quite liked it on top of a dress. So I'll show you what it looks like on top of a dress and see, you know, you can tell me what you think. But it looked it was kind of very, how would you describe it?
Dressy.
No, peasant girlish sort of. You know how in the olden days, Victorian, in the olden days you wore a dress and then you wore a pinafore over the top and it looked really nice. Well, that's what it looks like. I quite like that. So I will have to show you in that next vlog what that looks like. I've also made a couple of other things, but I need to do some more vlogs.
Crop top? You made a crop top?
Oh, I made a crop top for his lordship's granddaughter. She came the other day. He'd gone and picked them up from school and brought them up because Mum wasn't well, and the granddaughter came and said, they haven't packed any shorts. I've got no shorts. And of course it was boiling hot at the weekend. Got no shorts, got nothing. So he whisked her off to the shops to get her some shorts, and then she says, I haven't got a crop top. So I said, right, I'll quickly whisk up a crop top. And I had a crop top I bought a crop top pattern from Caramia, and I made this crop top. She went and tried it on, but she didn't show me it. So whether she liked it or not, I don't know. It was blue, and she's more of a green person. So I think she didn't want to tell me that the colour wasn't her colour.
She does wear blue.
But anyway, so I made this crop top, and she wouldn't let me see whether it was too big or too small. So I said, is it okay? And she said, well, it's a little bit a bit tight under there. So I said, right, I'll redo it. I redid it. I said, is that better? Yeah, it's better. But I don't know, I never saw it on, so I don't know. But then she had a little bra top, and so when I was washing that and hung it on the before I hung it up to dry, I traced it off, and I thought I'll make her some more little bra tops from that trace off that I've done. But I've made other things, and
get them on film.
I'll have to get them on film, yes. I'll have to get my finger pulled out, because I know that someone, Sally and Angela, have been asking if everything's okay because I haven't been on. It's been nearly a month, and I kept thinking, oh, it's going to take forever to do this. I can't be bothered. I'm not in the mood. And he kept saying, but your people love watching you. They miss you. They want to watch you and find out what's happening.
And I miss my bits.
Oh, he misses his bits.
I like being silly.
But we've also, I mean, we've been to different places. We've been to a few places. We took the girls to a waterfall last weekend.
Oh,
I have been putting that on Facebook, not Facebook. Yes, I put it on Facebook and Instagram.
We should show them a clip of that. It was
yeah, it was lovely waterfall, and I bet it's cold. The oldest one decided she had to jump in and go for a swim in the waterfall. She didn't really swim, she dunked herself. Dunked her and her sister into the water. And then another time we took them to Beamish, which is a living museum. It's where any buildings in the area, a bit like the, what do you call that, repair shop, where you go, the museum where the repair shop film is filmed. Theirs is thatched houses, where Beamish is more the old schools.
It's late 19th century and early 20th century.
So in a town or a village, when they've decided to knock down a building, this Beamish has taken it brick by brick and removed it and rebuilt it in Beamish, and it's absolutely wonderful. They've just they're just finishing off a 1950s area.
Yay!
And they've just said the other day that apparently the cinema is now open. The brick by brick they brought the cinema from Sunderland and they've rebuilt it in Beamish, and so that's another one for
Roy Rogers.
They might play all the old films,
Yeah,
like
of course
that.
they will.
And then we went to have a look at the 1950s houses, but the 1950s, it's very similar to the one that we live in. The one we live in is an Air Force estate, an RAF estate.
Yeah.
And it used to be, a lot of Canadians lived in them, didn't they?
Yeah.
It used to be the Canadian Air Force were based there. So it's like looking at your own house, really. And so we took them there, being basically busy. And of course, to be fair, the weather has been abysmal. The weather was awful, and I kept thinking, I can't be bothered to do anything. It's raining, 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 raining. Everybody was fed up with the rain. And now the sunshine's come out, and so it's lovely now the sun's here. And everybody's feeling much happier because we've got lovely weather. In fact, now they're probably saying, it's too hot. I can't stand this heat, it's unbearable. Anyway, we are close to arriving at his son's house. So I think it's time. I've been talking for 17 minutes. And because it's been a one-off constant, I'll be able to upload this without having to add any extra bits to it.
Oh, come on.
Do you want to say anything?
Anything.
Anything.
I said it.
There you go, he said everything. So, hopefully I'll get some more vlogs made, and I've got a few garments to show you that I've made, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!